Hey y'all, so you ever heard of the phrase or the saying tell the truth, shame the devil? What's happening with Cat is happening with a lot of light workers. All of us are saying what needs to be said because we no longer have fear. Cat has always been talking, and most of us have always said things, and then after a while, y'all got quiet because every time you opened your mouth, you were made out to be the bad guy. Like your whole reality was challenged, whether you had a moral compass or your integrity was right. You would sit and you'll see something is wrong and you feel it is wrong in your spirit. However, everybody around you is telling you you're wrong. So, years and years of being told you're wrong, of course, you're going to always second guess your decisions because to everybody else, you've always been wrong. But in actuality, you were the right one the whole entire time. What's happening with Kat, how I just saw somebody say it was the interview heard around the world. I can personally protest to that because sidebar, this is also a distraction, y'all. It's a good distraction. I think I said that already, but I just want to make sure that y'all know this is a distraction. But nevertheless, it is something that everybody can learn from. Um, the ego is going to make you want to defend right away. So when someone literally hits the nail on the head directly and it's like, I do not care, I'm just going to say what I need to say, I don't care anymore. A light is shined in a corner that it has not been shined in a long time. There's been hundreds of celebrities, especially the child, my cat, hey, yes, thank you. I'm sorry. So, my bad. So, there's been hundreds and hundreds of child stars. They've been telling y'all all this about all these people. That these aren't good people. You know, why you think so many of them turn to drugs? They literally did have handlers. They're like, hey, if you're going to, especially the blacks, all the blacks have handlers. If you don't get it out the mud yourself, trust me, the black millionaires have handlers. They can only do and say what they want them to say with just a tad bit of freedom, but they bet not right out talk. Or like he said, you can be taken down in 2 weekends. That's real. That's real because I personally did it. Last year, I did an interview. I did this interview with Peter Mayerhoff. I think I always pronounce his last name wrong, but he's Peter. He's the homie. Good guy, really good guy. He asked me to come on because he wanted to have my experiences as a corrections officer, and he was a former inmate. So I think he did 12 years. I did 12 years too on the other side. So there's a lot of similarities though. So we were able to relate to each other. And this podcast went for almost 90 minutes. It was a good podcast. It was a good podcast. You know what? I'm going to find the link. And put it on here because it was a good podcast. And all of not even a minute, we're talking, and he said something narcissist. And I had just went through the first chapter what a narcissist is. Let me introduce you to the narcissist. So that's the becoming aware of their behavior patterns. Then it become aware of the emotions attached. Then you become aware that it was all manipulation. So I'm literally going through the steps of learning narcissist. So he said the word narcissist and I looked over. I said, oh no, baby, you're not a narcissist. I'll tell you what's a real narcissist. And I said all of a couple of words. I said I was in a bodybuilding sex cult. My former coach, whom everybody knew who my former coach was, on Instagram. This is before I really started building up my TikTok. Everybody knew who my former coach was. So when I said I found out that he was sleeping with 8 of the other women on the team, he got at least 2 of them pregnant, blah, blah, blah. When I just kind of just threw that little bit out, and then I also threw out my, I outed my abuser, my sexual abuser, all in under 1 minute. Do you know nobody heard any of the rest of that video except for that small snippet, that 1 minute maybe? That shit went through the fitness community because he was a big coach. And I had been trying to go pro for a long time. So people were really waiting for me, another damn Leo, to go pro because I had done so many shows. And he had seemingly had the right recipe because once we met, I was winning all my shows. Like before him, I probably did 8 shows. Didn't win nothing. When I got with him, he knew the recipe. But it was fueled by hate. I had a hatred for him. I hated training with him. It was terrible because he was so hard on me. He would talk so much shit to me. It was never enough. I was never a good athlete. And I would try and I would try. And I would also be in here taking his mental abuse. One night he told me we were having segs. And he was in the back. And he dismounted. And he was like, I said, what? What's going on? And he goes, you're disgusting. I see your stomach hanging. You can't get no more D word until you lose 10 pounds. That's what I was hearing on a regular. So, I say all this to say, tell the truth, shame the devil. Some of them are answering, but they're not denying it. They're not denying it. That's not me at all. I did not do that. Blah, blah, blah. This is my side of the story. And then everybody has their perspectives of what the side of the story is. And it's up to you, the viewer, to disconnect emotionally and use logic and look at the full picture. Somebody was telling me a story about somebody the other day and how this one girl was going crazy over this guy. And apparently they were just friends. And I looked at her. I said, and they're not together. She goes, no, they're not dating. I said, let me tell you something. No chick starts fighting a dude like that in front of everybody and ruining things if physical contact has not happened. She has been dicked down. And I know what a dicking down is like. And that shit will make you crazy. Yes, I know. But I took the logic out of it. I took the emotions out of it and I was able to see the full picture. Hey! I'm sorry, y'all. This cat, I swear, every time, as soon as I start filming, it's like she knows and she starts messing with the plants. She be all the way body inside my bamboo plant. I'm like, please leave my plants alone. I don't know what to do. Lord. But yeah, so I understand what Kat has done because later on I found out someone that's close to the, situation of what happened with me. They said, you really did a number. You broke that man down. You were the one that defeated him. It was you. You were the catalyst that said something out loud to everyone. And I was afraid that, you know, my bodybuilding career was going to be over because of it. Because of all the people he know. You can't stop God's anointing. I know what? Like, my vision is totally different now. So I applaud him. I don't fear shit over here, y'all. Speak up. There you go.